A geometric sequence is a particular type of sequence. To help us understand geometric sequences, let us first start with an example. 5, 15, 45, 135, and so on. Take a minute and try and discover the pattern in this sequence. To get from one term to the next term, we multiply by 3. 5 times 3 is 15. 15 times 3 is 45. 45 times 3 is 135. So the fifth term is 3 times the fourth term, which means the fifth term is 3 times 135, or 405. Another way to calculate the fifth term is to start with the first term and then multiply by 3 until we arrive at the fifth term. This means that we multiply by 3 4 times. We can rewrite this expression using an exponent. 5 times 3 raised to the fourth power. So the important questions we answered here: where do we start? How do we move from one term to the next? And how many times did we have to move? Use these questions to calculate the 75th term. The first term is 5. We move from one term in our sequence to the next by multiplying by 3. If we want to arrive at the 75th term, that means we have to multiply by 3 a total of 74 times. We can rewrite this expression using an exponent. The 75th term is 5 times 3 raised to the 74th power. Try calculating the nth term by answering the same questions. The first term is 5. To move from one term to the next, we multiply by 3. We have to multiply by 3 n minus 1 times to get to the nth term. So the nth term is 5 times 3 raised to the n minus first power. Now we are ready for a definition. A geometric sequence is a sequence where the nth term is always r times the term right before it, where r is some number. Now we look at the general case. We have a sequence a1, a2, a3, and to move from one term to the next, we multiply by r. So if we want to find the nth term, let's answer the questions that were helpful for our specific example. Where do we start? How do we move from one term to the next? And how many times do we have to move? Answer these questions to calculate the nth term. We start with a1. Each time, to move from one term in our sequence to the next, we multiply by r. And to get to the nth term, we have to multiply by r a total of n minus 1 times. So that means that the nth term is a1 times r to the n minus first power. We started with an example. We wrote down the definition of geometric sequence. And finally, we came up with an explicit formula. You should now be ready to do the practice problems.